Hi, everybody. If you are watching this, it probably means that you were either unable to be present at our Tuesday session 2 of our Making Learning Virtually Irresistible course, or possibly you were present, but you'd like to catch up on a few highlights. So we are happy to provide a quick recap of some of the highlights. What Kathy and I are going to do, and she's sort of remaining my silent partner to my right, but she will manage the screen so that we can share the agenda with you and show you where the resources are found from the session. So first, let's take a look at where the resources are located in Google Classroom so that you will know how to locate them. As you can see, there is a frame for session 2, and it includes places where you can access the video pieces that were utilized, and also the rubric that reflected some of the chief characteristics of a lively, vibrant, successful classroom. Folks helped to generate some of those descriptors, as you know, and then we showed them a sample of a word cloud that had been done previously by other participants. Let me take you through the agenda for session 2, because that is really the best way to get a handle on what we were trying to accomplish. And I know there is a partial video in the resources for session 2 where you will see the beginning of the session. Our overall goal in session 2 was to make sure that everybody had a clear vision of the parts of the planning model. And so we took time to really reinforce that through the video called Cells Gone Wild, which you can see within these materials. And then in the breakout sessions where folks were answering different questions related to each part of the model: investigation, preparation and planning, action, reflection, and demonstration celebration. So when you view the video yourself, it is a great idea then to grab a copy of the video case study discussion guide, look at those questions, and make sure they make sense to you in relation to the video. There it is right there. So there were questions that accompanied each part of the model, and the breakout rooms went great. We got wonderful feedback from folks about the value of exchanging perspectives on that. And I think the questions in the video really did help to reinforce the way the model works. Following that, we came back for another brief discussion of another important part of content. And we really wanted to reinforce the different categories of action within service learning. Sometimes people assume that direct service, meaning I see the client, I go to the soup kitchen, or I reach out to the older adult and that person is with me, or I'm working with a preschooler and I'm physically with the child. Those are all examples of direct service. And often the assumption is made that that is superior to other forms of service learning. But that's not really accurate. We want folks to understand that it is also perfectly legitimate and very valuable to engage in education and awareness endeavors, or advocacy projects, or philanthropy and fundraising. We certainly would not like to see philanthropy or a fundraising project that is simply a fundraiser and has no learning component accompanying it. So a fundraiser certainly can be considered high quality service learning if the other learning pieces are around it. If kids really are becoming experts about the topic or the issue that they're undertaking, they really do meaningful reflection, and they really do a good job of celebrating their impact and sharing their learning. But we encourage folks to start by thinking of things other than dollars and cents. If you can think of ways to provide direct service and still do that when you're working remotely, that's great. If not, an education and awareness initiative or an advocacy campaign may be exactly what you're looking for. folks reacted very, very positively to Cells Gone Wild, which is a great example of a very meaningful education and awareness endeavor, and one that could certainly be adapted to be done virtually if necessary. But we also want you to note the bold print under the categories of action where we talk about awareness campaigns and cross-age projects, buddy programs, because those are all endeavors which can quite capably be done using virtual instruction. And actually the times that we're going through present some wonderful opportunities to strengthen the connections that you may want to have across different grade levels or across different generations. So the time that we spent in that segment was very brief, but I think from the exit tickets that we received, it was a meaningful piece of learning for folks. They got more reinforcement for that than when our two guest practitioners spent time with us, Kim Wilson and Leah Miller, because Leah's project, Shake Pals, is a terrific example of something that was a cross-age project. It was relationship building, and it was based on an intriguing topic. It was based on Shakespeare, not poverty, not hunger, not homelessness, not world peace, not the environment, but Shakespeare of all things. But it was a terrific and successful and meaningful service learning endeavor because the need for folks to connect more closely within the district to build meaningful relationships and a sense of community and explore deeper meanings together. All of those were met through Shake Pals, which I'm sure you'll see when Leah repeats her tape sequence for us, her recording. Kim Wilson's project, Masks Pay It Forward and Thank Yous Across the Country, almost felt like direct service, almost, because in making masks for people, the kids knew what kinds of clients they were reaching. And when they reached out to essential workers in various states, they also knew or could at least easily imagine who the recipients were, and many of them wrote back. The Masks Pay It Forward project, Kim will again talk about in more detail on her recorded segment, and I don't want to steal her thunder, but just know that you will be listening for some very strong curriculum connections in all of those projects. You'll hear the reflection, you'll hear the entry events loud and clear, and so those are all the things that we want you thinking about. When Leah and Kim were finished, we talked a while longer about the importance of entry events, and we showed this list, which Kathy is highlighting, of all different forms of entry events, all the various strategies that you can use to pique interest and stimulate curiosity and get kids intrigued and hooked on a project in the beginning. The purpose of doing one or more of these is to ensure that the kids realize that what they're about to embark upon is going to be interesting and important. Those are the things that we're going for. When people went to breakout rooms, they then talked about their project ideas that they were considering, and their colleagues then contributed various ideas for entry events. And again, we received very good feedback. And I think from the exit tickets that we received this week, it was clear that the importance of entry events was a principal takeaway for many, many people. You can see the assignments here listed in the agenda. And so we hope that whether you were with us in session 2 or not, when you come to us for session 3, you will have looked at the materials from session 2 to identify whether you have any questions. We hope that you will keep thinking about your project ideas and try to decide on one that you're going to begin with, and for which you will use the project planning template that you will find in Google Classroom and that we spent some time with during session 1. In the third item listed here, it is very important that you complete the project sign-up form as soon as you're ready to list one or more of your ideas, particularly if you are working with other folks as a design team. We want to know that so that during session 3, the second breakout group in session 3, and most of session 4, we will be giving you some time to collaborate. And we want to make sure that we know from you who you'd like to be in the breakout room with, if you have a preference. If you don't, we can do some of them randomly. But if you're working with a design team, we would like to know that in advance of session 3, if possible. If you have ideas to contribute to the idea board, please feel free to do that. The more ideas, the merrier. And remember, they do not need to be highly developed ideas, and they don't need to be ones that you personally are volunteering to pursue. Very important, number 5. Please, please, please take a look at the reflection resources that are found in Google Classroom. You don't need to master them. We don't expect that, but we'd like you to be familiar with what's there. I guarantee that if you take some time to pre-scan those materials, you'll get a lot more out of session 3 as a result, and we'll have much richer discussions about reflection if you're a bit prepared for that. Finally, if you have not sent us a selfie, please do, so that our second version of the class video is more complete. And you do not need to submit an exit ticket from this experience, but we will look forward to seeing you at session 3 and finding out how you're coming along. If you have questions before next Tuesday, by all means, please contact us. We are always here to help you out and make sure you have the help that you need. Kathy, you want to add anything?
Just Ellen did a great job, and we look forward to seeing you with session 3.
All right. Thank you so much. Bye.